Once upon a time, nestled in a cozy corner of a sprawling countryside, there was a quaint little farmhouse surrounded by fields of swaying wheat and fragrant wildflowers. In this peaceful haven lived a kind-hearted farmer named Mr. Johnson and his gentle dog Daisy. One sunny spring morning, as the birds chirped their cheerful melodies, Daisy gave birth to a litter of adorable puppies. Their tiny yips filled the air with joy as they wiggled and squirmed, their eyes still closed tightly against the brightness of the world. The air was filled with the soft sounds of contented sighs and gentle suckling as the puppies nursed and nuzzled against their mother's warm fur. Their tiny bodies, still fragile and new to the world, were a tangle of fur and paws as they curled up together, seeking comfort and warmth in the circle of their siblings. Daisy, with her gentle eyes and patient demeanor, watched over them with unwavering love, her tail wagging softly as she licked each one in turn, showering them with motherly affection. The puppies spent most of their days in this cozy nest, their world confined to the safety of their mother's embrace. They slept soundly, their bellies full of milk, dreaming sweet dreams of the adventures that awaited them. As they grew stronger, they would clumsily crawl over each other, their tiny tails wagging with excitement as they explored their tiny corner of the world. But no matter how far they wandered, they always returned to the warmth and safety of their mother's side, where they would snuggle up together in a tight ball of fur, their soft breaths mingling in the quiet of the farmhouse. Mr. Johnson watched over them with tender care, ensuring they were warm and comfortable in their snug little nest. As the days passed, the puppies began to explore their surroundings, stumbling over each other in their clumsy attempts to walk. The farmhouse soon echoed with the sound of playful barks and the pitter-patter of tiny paws. The puppies delighted in chasing butterflies in the meadows, rolling in the soft green grass, and napping in the dappled shade of the old oak tree. Each puppy had its own unique personality, from the bold adventurer who led the pack on daring escapades, to the gentle soul who preferred to curl up in Mr. Johnson's lap for a nap. One sunny afternoon, when the air was warm and filled with the scent of blooming flowers, the puppies of the farmhouse decided it was time for a little adventure. With their tails wagging excitedly, they gathered together, noses twitching with curiosity. Their first stop was the vegetable garden, where rows of vibrant green plants swayed in the gentle breeze. The puppies darted between the rows, their noses sniffing out the earthy scent of ripe tomatoes and crisp cucumbers. They tumbled and played, rolling in the soft soil and chasing each other around the towering sunflowers. Next, they ventured into the orchard, where apple trees laden with ripe fruit beckoned to them. The puppies scampered through the grass, their ears perked up at the sound of buzzing bees and chirping birds. They took turns climbing the low branches, their tiny paws reaching for the juicy apples dangling just out of reach. As the sun began to dip towards the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over the farm, the puppies made their way to the meadow. Here the grass was tall and swayed gently in the breeze, creating a sea of green as far as the eye could see. The puppies frolicked softly in the meadow, chasing butterflies and tumbling in the soft grass. But as evening approached and the sky turned shades of pink and orange, the puppies knew it was time to return home. With tired but happy hearts, they trotted back to the farmhouse, their noses twitching with the familiar scents of home. As the puppies nestled together in their cozy nest, their soft fur entwined in a delicate ballet of warmth and comfort, a serene hush descended upon the farmhouse. The air was filled with the rhythmic melody of their breaths, each inhale and exhale, a gentle lullaby that soothed their restless spirits. One by one, the puppies began to settle into sleep, their tiny bodies gradually growing still as they surrendered to the embrace of slumber. Their eyelids fluttered closed, revealing the delicate patterns of light and shadow that danced across their fur in the glow of the moonlight, filtering through the window. With each slow and steady breath, their chests rose and fell in perfect harmony, the soft sound like the whisper of a gentle breeze rustling through the leaves of a tree. Their noses twitched ever so slightly, catching the faint scents of the world around them, the earthy aroma of the soil, the sweet fragrance of wildflowers carried on the breeze. As they drifted deeper into sleep, their dreams began to weave intricate tapestries of imagination and wonder. They dreamed of endless fields stretching towards the horizon, of secret meadows filled with flowers of every hue, of forests alive with the songs of birds and the chatter of woodland creatures. And through it all, their breaths remained slow and steady, a constant rhythm that anchored them to the present moment, even as their minds soared through the realms of dreams. In the quiet of the farmhouse, surrounded by the comforting presence of their siblings, the puppies slipped further into the embrace of sleep, their hearts filled with the promise of tomorrow's adventures and the warmth of their sacred bond. In their slumber, their minds danced with vivid images of the day's adventure, each moment etched into their memories, like the strokes of a painter's brush on a canvas. They dreamed of bounding through the sun-kissed fields, the wind ruffling their fur as they chased after butterflies and scampered through the tall grass. They relived the excitement of exploring the vegetable garden, their noses twitching with the scent of ripe tomatoes and earthy soil. And they giggled in their sleep as they remembered the joy of climbing the apple trees in the orchard, their tiny paws reaching for the tempting fruit dangling above. Amidst these dreams of adventure, there was also a sense of peace and contentment. For in their hearts, the puppies knew that no matter where their adventures took them, they would always have each other. Their bond as siblings was strong and unbreakable, a thread that connected them through every twist and turn of their journey. And as the stars twinkled overhead and the night settled in, casting a blanket of darkness over the farm, the puppies slept on, their dreams weaving together into a tapestry of love and friendship. For they knew that in their little corner of the world, there would always be more adventures waiting just beyond the horizon, and they couldn't wait to explore them together. The next day dawned with a golden glow, the sun casting its warm rays over the sleepy farmhouse and awakening the world with its gentle embrace. As the puppies emerged from their cozy nest, their eyes bright with curiosity, a sound outside piqued their interest, and they all piled out of the farmhouse into the fresh morning air. The sound they had heard turned out to be a duck, peacefully looking for its breakfast in the courtyard. So the puppies decided to sniff along with it for a while. Losing interest in the duck, they scampered across the dew-kissed grass. Their noses twitched with anticipation, eager to explore the wonders of the world around them. They darted between the rows of vegetables in the garden, their curious noses leading them to discover hidden treasures beneath the leaves. With playful abandon, they chased after butterflies that flitted among the flowers, their tiny paws dancing over the soft petals as they leaped and frolicked in the sunlight. The air was alive with their laughter and the sound of their joyful barks, echoing through the fields and meadows like the melody of a summer symphony. Their adventures took them through fields of swaying wheat and sun-kissed meadows where they rolled and tumbled in the tall grass, their fur becoming adorned with tiny droplets of dew. They chased after each other in playful games of tag, their boundless energy filling the air with an infectious sense of joy and excitement. But amidst their playful antics, there were quiet moments as well. They paused to sniff the fragrant blossoms of wildflowers, their noses twitching as they savored the delicate scents of nature. They lay in the shade of an old oak tree, their tongues lolling out in contentment as they basked in the warmth of the sun. And as the morning stretched into afternoon, they returned to the farmhouse, their hearts full of the memories of their morning spent outdoors. They flopped down in a heap on the front porch, their breaths coming slow and steady as they basked in the glow of the sun, their minds filled with dreams of the adventures that awaited them in the days to come. Slowing down made the puppies realize how sleepy their adventure had made them. And so returning home, they discovered something new and intriguing near the edge of the farm. A hammock swaying gently between two sturdy trees. Their tails wagged excitedly as they approached the hammock, their noses twitching with anticipation. With clumsy enthusiasm, they clambered onto the hammock, one by one, their tiny paws scrambling for purchase on the swaying fabric. With each attempt to get into the hammock, the puppies found themselves tumbling over one another in a delightful chaos of fur and paws. Their laughter rang out like tiny bells, echoing through the tranquil air of the farm, intermingling with the soft rustle of leaves and the cheerful chirping of birdsong. As they flopped and rolled, some landing with surprised yips and others with triumphant woofs, they couldn't help but be infected by the sheer joy of the moment. Even when their attempts ended in a tangled heap on the ground, they scrambled back to their feet with tails wagging, undeterred by their initial failures. Their determination only grew stronger with each tumble, their eyes shining with a fierce resolve as they refused to let a few falls dampen their spirits. With encouraging barks and gentle nudges, they urged each other on, their bond as siblings strengthening with each passing moment. And as the sun continued its slow ascent into the sky, casting a warm glow over the farm, the puppies finally succeeded in their quest. And finally, after much wobbling and tumbling, they succeeded in arranging themselves in a cozy pile, their bodies fitting snugly together like pieces of a puzzle. As they settled into the hammock, their breaths slowing to the rhythm of the swaying motion, they listened to the soothing sounds of nature all around them. The birds sang sweet melodies in the trees, their voices blending harmoniously with the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. With each gentle sway of the hammock, the puppies felt themselves drifting further into a state of peaceful relaxation, their eyelids growing heavy with sleep. And as the sun dipped towards the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over the farm, They snuggled closer together, their hearts filled with the joy of friendship and the simple pleasures of a lazy afternoon spent in the company of loved ones. And so, as the day melted into evening and the stars began to twinkle overhead, and the puppies fell asleep in the hammock, their dreams filled with visions of endless adventures yet to come, their hearts content in the knowledge that no matter where life took them, they would always have each other. Good night, little ones. Sleep tight.